Support for Radio Friends comes from OsteoStrong. Improvements in bone density, strength, and power can be achieved by weekly 5-minute no-sweat sessions on their 4-spectrum machines. These isometric robotic machines safely emulate high-impact loading on different parts of the skeletal system, which stimulates activity in bone-building cells. Balance and agility can be improved by 2-minute sessions on vibration plates. Every session is supervised by a trained coach. Learn more on Facebook or call to set up a complimentary wellness assessment and session. Good morning. Welcome to Radio Friends on this Thursday, November the 5th. As we always say, it's a pleasure to have you with us, and it really is. And it's a pleasure to have our next two guests with us, Doering and Connor. Oh, Connor,
Thank
the little
you.
doggy from Paws Medical and Behavioral Center.
Thank you.
Connor just smiling up a storm there. I was reading an article the other day, about dogs smiling and how you can tell when they are happy. Dogs like to make eye contact with their humans, don't they?
They do like to make eye contact, and that is an amazing way to get them to focus on you. However, I'm going to say, do not stare at a dog that you do not know.
Right, because that can be threatening. Isn't it?
That would be threatening. That's a challenge, and that could start you in a fight. So you want to have your dog, yes, look at you, focus on you, and then all things are possible when they're looking at you and you can bond.
Yeah.
And that's something I did want to mention today, because people sometimes say that I'm a dog whisperer or a pet whisperer with dogs and cats. And I try to be, but more than that, I try to be a pet listener. And I think people can do that both by watching their pet and listening to them, and both in the behavioral sense and in the veterinary sense. When pets come in to see me, I take a few moments. Sometimes people don't even see me doing this. I'm still talking to them, but I'm bonding with their pet. I'm kind of watching them and communicating and bonding with them, which shows me a little bit of who they are. So you're right. I don't look into their eyes right off. I kind of touch them and feel them and see if, do they want to look to me, see what they're doing. Or they may be licking their lips, which seems like a funny thing to say, but when a dog licks their lips or yawns, that's the first signs of anxiety. Or is that dog...
Wait a minute. When a dog yawns? Now, not just because...
Not because they're tired, and certainly not because they're bored, but when a dog... Yes, if you see a dog is scared of something, you will start to see them yawn. And that is the first sign that you see that, gosh, they're feeling a little anxious and they're trying to communicate. And there's been studies done in pets, dogs specifically in the wild, where the dogs have actually started yawning, and other members, stronger members of the pack, will take and yawn as well. Because humans should not yawn in front of other humans, I take deep breaths. I do this for dogs, I do this for cats, and if I have a dog in my practice or a cat that is very, very scared and therefore is maybe a little aggressive or doesn't want handling, I'll say to my staff, let's all take a deep breath and let it out like we're yawning. And that, in the wild, oh my gosh, they calm down immediately. They will let me do things you can't even imagine, draw blood, anything that you would not think possible if we make that little bit of a connection first.
So you're saying if your dog is anxious about something,
yes,
or your cat,
yes,
if you take in a deep breath,
yes,
and make sure that they see you taking in that deep breath.
Yeah, they don't even have to see you. They hear it and they feel it, and you are communicating in that moment to them. And that's what I try to do, is take kind of a watchful approach and take a little moment of quiet to see what that pet is feeling, and then to be able to help them by, yes, taking a deep breath. Sometimes I'll have a pet, a puppy or a dog or a cat that's very worried about a vaccine, for example. So my staff and I'll just say, even to the clients that are there. You know what? Everybody, when I say 1, 2, 3, take a deep breath. And on 3, I will give the injection. Everybody will take the deep breath and it'll go perfectly. Whereas that animal was shaking and really worried before, they calm right down. It's amazing.
So
but
take a deep breath. Try
yes,
that. Try that at home with your
it's
pet.
actually a calming signal to dogs, and I have found to cats as well. Makes a huge difference. And in that moment, you're able to help them. So that by knowing that pet a little bit, and when a client knows their pet well enough to say, you know, I'm not sure that something is going on, but I know my pet well enough to know they're just not acting quite right.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You can get the dog or the cat doesn't have to say anything. You just kind of look at them
Yeah.
and you know.
Yeah.
And I think there's some type of nonverbal communication
100%. That's
that
what
we
I'm
have
talking about.
with
Yes.
with our pets.
Yes.
They can communicate to us and we can communicate to them.
Exactly.
And now some people listening may think I'm crazy and they say he doesn't know what he's talking about. But I think it can even be done if you're not in the presence of them.
Yes, 100%. Yes.
I can remember at times when I was working and I'd had a particularly bad day, I could come home and my dog Prince, before I came into the house, knew how to greet me.
Yes.
What was the right way to greet Daddy tonight?
To make you feel better.
To make me feel
Yes,
better.
Exactly.
Exactly right. I think there's that
Exactly.
nonverbal communication if you are close to your pet
Yes.
that the pet has with you.
And on the flip side, if you have an anxious pet, then they may be worried because you're worried, and that will make them more worried. So the more you can calm yourself down helps your pet. So it works both ways, where you're 100% right. They know before you ever say a word, and that's what I mean by listening, not just listening with your ears, but listening with your heart, opening up to them, focusing on them, and really paying attention, which I find helps me in my career both as a behaviorist and as a veterinarian. It makes such a difference to be able to do that, to calm that pet,
Right.
so that I then can have a relationship that's a caring one with them.
Yes. My dog Sparky, who passed away about 15 years ago, was the most intelligent dog I can ever remember. And that dog, when he was doing something bad, and he knew he was doing it bad, you could turn around and look at him, and he knew by the look in your face. Didn't have to say a word.
Even before the look on your face, he could tell by your emotion. Yes, exactly.
Right. And I think every pet and owner has that ability to communicate with each other.
Right, right.
Yeah. Mar, you're wonderful. If people
Thank you.
want more information, how can they contact you?
They can call us at All Paws Medical and Behavioral Center in Holt Summit, and the number's 896-4040. We'd love to see you.
Area code 573.
Yes.
Are you on the web?
Yes, definitely. Yes.
And what's your web address?
It's Mar at AskDrDrDoring.com.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much for coming by, and thank you for being such a wonderful friend.
Oh,
All right?
thank you.
We're out of time for today. Drop me an email, pepperp@missouri.edu. Bye-bye.